Welcome back to
Oh
me
God, I'm
fighting
falling.
my...
No, I'm falling.
Oh God, I'm actually dying.
Yeah. God, I'm falling and dying right now. Peter Pan,
Welcome
come
back
get
to
me.
me fighting my depression.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Winning.
And then you
There it
lost.
is.
That's scary.
Yep, that's
Wow.
Yep.
That
That's
became
scary.
too real of a parable
Too
right
real,
there,
too
I gotta
Welcome
say.
to 2020, bro.
God, that lady's message on Twitter
Yeah.
that you put up, Savannah, Addie something. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, that's hitting me with too much real.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
I can't do it.
So this lady tweeted about how tired, and like not even tired, but burnt
Oh,
out
yes,
she
I
was.
commented on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't know how to say that. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't. I just
I didn't
couldn't
have the
put them in
words.
words. Yeah.
And then she did it for the rest
But it
of
was
us.
it
and
was
you're like,
simple
oh.
enough. Like, I'm burnt out. Like, it's a crazy time. It's just
Yeah.
it's just really hard right now. And I was like,
It's like,
yes.
fuck this.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the thing I've been needing to say my entire life.
Right.
It's actually my whole life. Like, if people were saying, oh, yeah, that's me in COVID right now. I was like, no, that's me my whole life.
I saw
And
someone
I'm
else
tired
say
of
that,
life.
like, that's depression. And then Richie was like, yeah, that's depression, and add on, like, amplify it.
And tack it on with this other shit. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
It's just,
No!
it's just too much.
Yeah, pretty much.
On a side note, in just something that I saw today, a guy put up a video from about 10 months ago where he was like, you know what, I wonder if you could take toilet paper and turn it into alcohol. And he did it.
What?
Yeah.
There are people out there doing just
It's,
crazy things.
So
You
it's
mean
like a half
genius
hour.
things?
Yeah. So for the record, it's a half-hour video about him explaining, like, there's a component in, like, the tissue paper that makes up toilet paper that if you do some chemical things to it, you can separate parts of it into another liquid, and then you can add some more things. Basically, it's this entire, like, process, and he's like, this took X number of days, this took X number of hours, X number of weeks I had to do to, like, actually. And I think he was only able to get, like, barely 100 milliliters of basically paper moonshine is what he effectively made. And he tried it. He was like, this is not awful like I thought it was going to be. Like,
Right.
it's really bitter, and it
It's
just
not
kind of
good.
reminds me of vodka. Well, he even says that he doesn't drink, really. So he's like, I'm probably not the best to give you
Right.
like what on this, but from my own experience on this, it was okay. And I'm just like, wow, if you're in desperate times and you have and you really need that alcoholic hit, you
Oh, I did it.
Yes.
hey, look
I
at
beat depression.
that. Congratulations.
You did it.
Wore it so easy.
Warren, so
But yeah, no, so basically, like, the
you
video,
fool.
it's just a
I
video
will
of a
go
guy.
in you now
Oh,
because I'm always a part of you.
that's not what you said, though. He said he's going to go
Ravensclaw.
into you, and that was kind of sensual. And I was a little upset that
Why?
because of how you said, now I'm going to go into you. Like, well, that's a little forceful, is probably all I'm going to say on that matter.
What do you
It
mean?
was forced.
That's verbal, like, talking during sex. It's just like, you ready? Now I'm gonna go into you.
I will.
I mean, he's just being,
Okay.
at least he was being upfront
Hate
about
that.
it. Like, hey, look, so you ready? Because this is about to happen.
I hate
This
that
is
so
gonna hurt.
much.
Oh my god!
Oh,
so
no.
much. Remember how last time you talked hella closely into the mic, Hector?
Yes,
This is how that conversation is feeling as well.
This is how the conversation is.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I can't
Just
believe it.
start getting comfortable with this voice.
No.
This is another channel.
You said you gotta start getting comfortable, and that's when everyone was made uncomfortable.
You got
I
the
get-
knuckles.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Jesus!
Hashtag uncomfortable Hector is trending on Twitter right now. There's already
As we
10,000
speak.
followers.
Hashtag uncomfortable Hector.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's already trending.
Come on, Tink.
It's perfect.
It's
How, like all things should be.
perfectly balanced, right? Is that where you're headed?
Balanced,
You were
yes.
already talking about Thanos a minute ago.
I am Thanos.
Hashtag
Just
Thanos
sorry.
did nothing wrong. Just gonna say.
Hashtag
mean-
Thanos struck.
That's real.
That's that real shit, though. I'm all right.
It's true.
I mean, when you've made a really good, compelling video and a villain when you leave that movie theater going, but was he wrong, though?
He's got a point. Yeah.
I mean, like, he brings up some shit, like him and Killmonger and Black Panther. You walk out that movie theater like, man, but were they wrong, though?
Right.
Like, that's where I'm at now. It's like, were they wrong, though?
You just gotta bring back up Black Panther, didn't you?
I mean, it's still kind of affecting everyone, if I'm being real. So, and the only way you can talk about feeling hurt is, by bringing it up.
Or you bottle it inside, and one day you'll die.
I don't know whoever told you.
That. I'm on board for that.
It's like, you're telling me that I could have just bottled my emotions like some cheap vodka? Sign me up.
Yeah.
There's a new alcohol line coming out called Distilled Emotions.
Deep depression.
And each layer of emotion is gonna like be reflective of your kind of alcohol that really, really speaks to you.
Wow.
Well, what's in this alcohol? It's pretty much what's it called? I forgot the alcohol name. Hallucinative.
There is no hallucinogenic alcohol.
What?
The one we joked that it is.
The world likes to say that absinthe has a hallucinogenic property.
It's 100% absinthe. No, it's like 50% absinthe and 50% vodka.
That sounds awful.
That is what deep depression is.
See, you're not wrong. I mean, I would be very concerned if somebody said, this liquid depression is delicious. I'll have another glass.
For the people who hate themselves.
No, here's the thing about like cheap alcohol though. Like, surprisingly, I've read a review that somebody said that Popov, which is like $8 a big bottle, and it's a plastic jug, right? And it looks filthy and undrinkable, and you're just like, who would put that in their body? It's actually surprisingly decent vodka. If you're like, man, I need vodka in a pinch, but I only got like $10 on me, Popov is like gonna be your best friend for whatever the fuck. Oh, it's just fun fact. I try to go for the cut above myself because, as my family likes to viciously point out, Jay, you don't know how to drink with the poor man. I have just accepted that I am incapable of drinking with the poor man because I am trying to help bring the poor man up to higher stature by bringing better liquid. Sue me.
That's hilarious.
It's me. Take care of them.
He's bringing that whisper back. I heard it.
It's not really a whisper. It's just me talking in a very low voice.
What do you think a whisper is? Real quick, is that not the same thing? I noticed how incredibly quiet you got after I mentioned that. You had to think about it. It was just like, oh my god.
I just jumped into an alligator's mouth. Nope, I'm flying.
You straight flying?
Yeah, because earlier, if you guys remember, Peter put Tinkerbell's dust on us.
Yeah.
And it was like a leap of faith activates the pixie dust.
If you ever watched the sci-fi original 2-part Neverland, which honestly was a really good Peter Pan origin movie, like 2-part movie deal, the only thing I could really say that was kind of bad about it is that it was sci-fi at that time was like
I can fly.
Really bad quality. So sci-fi had just like, there was a time in sci-fi's life where like the CGI was just undefendable. Like you just see this, you see somebody standing there, and it's like you are not hiding the fact that this is a green screen. Like that is blatant. I
see the green screen.
Like I blatantly know that kid is just waving his arm at like probably a green sheet of paper, and you have just crafted some sort of animal on the back for him to kind of interact with. Like it is laughably bad in terms of just visualization. The narrative was really cool, like how you got to Neverland. That was cool, and the interaction, like how Hook became Hook, and all that shit.
You're talking about Pan.
No, Neverland. It's called Neverland. It's a 2-part movie basically that aired on Sci-Fi. So basically, it was like a 3-hour special because each part is essentially its own hour and 30-minute movie, basically. But if you put them both together, it's a 3-hour deal. But if you get a chance, I believe it's up on Amazon Prime right now for free. You could just go to Amazon and type in Neverland and catch the 2-parter. And like I said, cool narrative, but be prepared for some pretty laughably bad visuals from a thing that was like 8 years old, and you're just like, boy, that is that's like PS2 or PS3 graphics, but you know, like you have like real people in front of them. It doesn't translate well. Like that's certainly one of those things that's not going to age well as time goes on. You're just going to be like, wow, CGI has come so far, and I see how absolutely bad the CGI in this is.
Yeah,
right.
And we used to think that was good.
Yeah. I mean,
that reminds me like how people kept saying. I saw a meme. It was like people saying the moon landing was fake, and like the year the moon landing happened, it was like the year they had Transformers. What was it? The Beast Wars.
Oh, when they said it was all CGI, and it was just like CGI from the 90s was like this laughably bad CGI. I always get so miffed when people like buy into the whole like, oh, the moon landing was fake, and it's like the science says that it would have cost more money than NASA spent sending us to the moon to fake the moon landing at the time that went on.
Oh wow!
Like, it's just, it was fictionally it was just impossible to like try to replicate that.
Yeah.
And like, there's a great video by a guy named Adam Ruins Everything, who has like a nice 5-minute breakdown about how the probability of us faking the moon landing was like, no, dude, it would have actually just been cheaper to send a guy to the moon, which, by the way, we did.
It happened.
Like he highlights a point in that little video where I guess there's like a reflective thing on the moon that NASA occasionally shoots a laser at, and then the laser comes right back to us as if you were like shooting a laser off of a reflective surface on the fucking moon. Like, you can't make that up, dude.
Right.
Like, we sent a person to the moon. I need you to just fucking accept it.
What do you think about the whole finding alien life on, what was it?
Venus? So,
yeah.
It's funny when we say alien life and how a lot of the times we forget that bacteria is also considered life.
Yeah.
And so, like, the likelihood of what we have found on Venus is actually just something along those lines.
Yeah, it's
There are
not
people
like
out-
people with big
still
heads.
super cool.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's like we're not about to get invaded by the Vex or nothing for all you
Right.
Destiny players out there, but like fucking definitely interesting that they're like, oh, there's shit living on Venus. It's like, yeah, there's not like higher life forms that are creating like crazy colonies, and we're not about to be invaded by our neighbor type shit or nothing, but you know, like, that's still fascinating.
I mean, even if we were, I'd be okay with that.
I mean, I think given the circumstances
2020 has killed us.
given the
We
circumstances
don't
surrounding
care.
2020, I mean, can I even be mad?
No, and it would be more exciting than scary for me personally, because I'd be like, yo, this is something that we've been waiting for answers, at least as a general public, we've been waiting for so long. And you know,
Right.
Area 52 and like I got
All that.
abducted
52.
and all that stuff. It'll be so nice to be like, this is real. Like, not even
happened.
just bacteria from a planet not our own, but like actual
animal?
beings that have their own way of communicating and like interacting with us. So
I think, I believe my man Neil deGrasse Tyson, shout out to the big brain on that guy.
Your boy.
Yeah, my boy. Me and
Sunday.
him have coffee on the reg. You know what I mean? Like, no, he had said that there's a likelihood that there's like some kind of life living in the methane oceans on Titan near Saturn, one of Saturn's moons. He said that there's like an actually strong likelihood that just there could very likely be some kind of life living beneath the methane liquid there.
Dope.
And I'm like, damn, that's that crazy. Hit me with that deep cut,
Yeah.
Tyson. Like,
You know what I really wish they did here?
tell me.
the eye thing the crocodile does for the clock.
The eye thing?
In the cartoon, do you remember to represent a clock ticking? His eyes would go bump.
Yeah, I remember that.
I really wish they would do that.
I remember that.
They did that in this scene.
That would probably be too hard to do for animation's sake.
Right. And again, it was, 2001, 2002?
Something along them lines, if I recall, but I will be honest, I don't remember. The cartoon, I think, was the 50s, actually.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying, like, they did it in the cartoon, that they should have done it here, in this game. So I beat Hook.
Congratulations!
It wasn't that hard. I'm surprised I'm surprised I actually had a really easy time on it.
I mean, Hook seemed to give you almost like no trouble.
Yeah, flying helps. Depression.
I'm sorry?
Depression kicked my butt for like half an episode.
Oh, run that by me one more time.
I call the shadow depression.
Did you say?
I'm sorry?
Now we're in London.
Ooh.
We're in a real place in the world.
Wow. I want to move to London so badly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be up in Ireland, just like exploring the rolling green hills. Just, I'd be mad in love with the place. Like, honestly, one of the things that's on my bucket list straight up is to just go drinking with an Irishman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not even like that crazy young Irishman thing where they like drink from fucking like 8 a.m. to midnight, and then you just don't have a shot in hell of drinking with them or anything, But just to be able to sit at the pub with someone from Ireland, I'd be like, I want that. I just want to be able to drink with an Irish stranger and have him tell me some shit. That'd be fucking fascinating.
You hear that, Ireland? You hear that?
You got a friend in Jason.
You hear that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I want to be there. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them singing and dancing.
Walking around, what do they call them?
Pubs?
Pubs.
I was going to say like a drinking thing, but you kind of killed it.
I said pub, which is a drinking thing.
By
the way.
No.
It is.
Before, it was like, in the second verse of it. I was going to say about drinking.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What was I going to say? There's this comedian. I think it was Trevor Noah. How he was saying he like went to Ireland, I think, and he went out drinking and like the most horrible drinking he's ever done. And he was just like, I threw up so many times and it was awful. And then his friend came over and was like, we're gonna go drinking again, you want to go? And he was like, okay. And like,
I guess so. I guess that's what we're doing.
This is what's happening, even though his lover was like, please, for the love of God, stop.
That's why I'm a strong believer in saying, I feel bad, sorry, I can't do it today.
But when you're as hungover as he was, I'm sure that wasn't an answer.
Right. But
Jason is not an answer either.
No, it is. Like, honest to God. Like, I mean, my position on you and alcohol is never to tank you, right?
No, it's me to go home. That's what I meant.
Oh, you mean keeping you from going home? Yeah, no, I'll keep you from going home as long as as long
as there's air in your.
Like, after you want to be able to go home? No, bitch, you gotta stay up for another, like, fucking 10 days with me or whatever. Like, you can't be doing none of that.
10 whole days. I think we'll die. I think that's actually grounds for me to die.
I don't know that we're worried too much about that, though. I think we got other plans, other machinations are in play before we even begin to worry about that.
Machinations? Explain yourself.
Machinations is just a fancy word for plans, like
I know. What plans, Jason?
Look, if I were to include you in on the mid-game, I'd tell you, but...
I wouldn't tell you there is no end game, but there is an end game.
There's no end game.
Tell me the fucking end game.
You don't get to know the end game. You just get to watch Baby Riku look deeply into the eyes of his lover and tell him something important.
They're kids, Jason!
Are you telling me kids don't know how to love each other?
Yes.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
They don't think they understand what love is.
I mean, if you're an adult and you're telling your kid, "Hey, I love you," over and over, you think they're maybe it's up to you to now
love
teach
to
them?
another person.
I'm just
That's not family member or parent.
I think the best
That's
thing you should do.
Family member.
I think the best thing you should do is when you say, "This is what love is," and then your kid asks you, "Wait, what does it mean to love another person?" That's when you.
I don't know, son. I never felt love before.
No, you've got the duty as an adult to say, "Hey, my son, what do you think it means?" And then they're gonna give you their opinion, and then you're gonna tell them what the truth is because you owe it to your son.
Son, nothing but pain.
That's real.
That's real shit.
That's real.
It's that real shit right there.
It's not. I'm not wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And my wife looks at me, and then I'm still sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, you know.
Or she leaves me.
Right.
Which
That's more so.
Which
what would
then
happen.
again, which really validates my why I said it.
No, because you said you don't know what love is as you're married with your partner's offspring that you both created.
It's true.
I think that's
I wouldn't
on
be able to
you.
get away with that.
I feel like
I'll be able to get away with that.
I feel like Hector is trying to crawl back to the new girl conversation where Nick just low key let out he never knew how to love, and he's just like, "That's me, right there."
Yeah,
it is me. I want to know what love is.
Fucking great.
I want you to show me.
Actually, I recently watched the Honest trailer for Mulan, and at the end, you know how at the end of each of the videos for Honest trailers, he likes to make fun of certain characters and give them different names. He named 3 characters, Nick, Winston, and Schmidt, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he knows who a new girl is. This is fucking great.
I think a lot of people saw New Girl, especially because of COVID. A lot of people benched Netflix.
I mean, maybe. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people I've actually spoken to about New Girl, and they're like, "Nah, I have no idea what you said." And I'm like,
yeah, like my brothers didn't know.
You missing
COVID,
out, man.
How rude.
You're just straight missing out.
And then I get a new Keyblade.
What did you get?
It's a fairy.
Is it any better than the one you were just using? Ooh,
yeah, it's the best one.
Oh, it looks so tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Itty bitty Keyblade for itty bitty Hector. How fucking adorable is that?
I will end you.
Will you? You're the one who's got the dinky
I will
Keyblade.
end you in front of the internet.
You're the one with the dinky
remorse.
Keyblade, though, Hector. Like, I'm watching you pick it up, and
No remorse.
Like,
End you
it's almost like baby's first Keyblade. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that fucking looks like. Tell me I'm fucking wrong, dude. It's got the color scheme. It's tiny. You would give that to your firstborn because, of course, you would. I'm noticing that your silence is allowing me to, like, revel in
You know
the
what?
truth.
If you give me, like, 2 seconds, 5 seconds of silence, it could be just me thinking.
Yeah?
All right?
I don't think you get the luxury here, friend.
You don't get the luxury.
Like,
you don't get to
What do you
think.
think this is?
I mean, like, the trick he forgets is that on these types of, like, things, you have to be talking pretty regular. And, like, occasionally 5 seconds of silence is like,
It's
that's
called
a death
dead
toll.
air. You
That's
don't want no
dead
dead air.
friend. You can't be rocking no dead air.
I'm trying to get better at it. God, guys.
I noticed you
Not
have
so
my
good.
favorite move. You've got the glide finally. I'm very happy.
Yes. But the super glide is the one I want to get.
The super glide.
What is the super glide?
It's gliding, but faster.
Gliding, but faster.
Ah, hence super.
And the boss you have to fight to get that is a surprise.
Don't tell me it's Sephiroth. I thought we agreed Sephiroth was going to be left out of this.
Sephiroth doesn't really... Actually, he gives you something. But it's not...
The surprise boss gives you something?
He gives you something small. It's not like a Keyblade or anything like too big, you know?
Okay, I hope I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I do. I think it needs you to...
He gives you an item in the game, obviously.
Alright,
But the item is not like, oh man, secret item.
Okay.
Overpowered. It's not something like that.
Oh, okay. Is it useful? Is it good? Does it do anything for you?
It helps.
Yeah.
It's probably the best thing to help. This is like, it boosts your stat for a bit.
Okay.
Some bit, but it's not like as cool as getting a new Keyblade, like designed to Sephiroth, or a Keyblade as long as Sephiroth's sword or something. That would be dope.
You want Masamune as your fucking Keyblade? Of course.
Or a version of it.
I mean, honestly, what I've been doing the last few days, dude, is I've just been like listening to One Winged Angel, because that is perhaps just the most. Like, I would dare say that's probably the greatest boss battle music of all time.
I like
it. Like the way it crescendos, the way that it just kind of bumps up, and the way that like the orchestra all comes together to like create this like powerful piece. You know, you got the strings and the wind instruments, and then you throw in the drums and the guitar, and then you throw in the opera type of choir in the background. Like, it just like, yes, give me so much more of this, please.
What is your favorite going into battle?
I mean, obviously, whenever you go into battle, you need music that's going to energize you. So, like, that's the kind of music that you want, energetic music, right. Music that hits you in these ways. Now, if you're asking me to like try to describe the whole like music theory dialogue that is used for that, I will be one of the first to admit that I don't always remember the names of everything.
Like if you had to think of a song right now that you know.
Oh, dude, one of my favorite songs is 10th Man Down by Nightwish. Like, that is just such this incredibly high energy. The lady that sings for them is this gal named Tara. I'm not even going to attempt to say her last name. I'll butcher it because she's from Finland, I believe is where they're from. She's like classically trained in opera, and she can hit like I forget. Savannah might know what it's called, but there's like it's the highest order of like soprano. Like, she can hit the highest ranges, I think, human women can hit.
I think that's mezzo-soprano. Let me shut up, because that sounds dumb and it sounds very incorrect. But
I was asking you what the truth was. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
It's been a while since I've dealt with music, so...
Okay, alright. No, that's fair.
I think mezzo-soprano sounds right, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But that sounds right, yes.
Because I remember you would listen to monk music sometimes.
Oh, I still listen to Gregorian chanting. I still listen to that.
And then there were times where you would listen to Scottish
bagpipes. I still listen to bagpipes.
Question.
Well, I mean, I haven't listened to your playlist in a while.
Question. Do you just listen to Gregorian chants and bagpipes as like, I'm gonna walk down the street and this is what I want to listen to, or are you like getting in the mindset for something?
Yes. Yes. That is. I mean, on my way to work, I'll listen to either of it. If I'm heading to the grocery store and I'm trying to like be in my own whatever, and I'm just listening to some shit, I'll do that. But for the most part, that's I'll do that. It's just because I'm fascinated by the music itself. I'm like,
run away.
So actually, a lot of it, I think, Savannah, comes in the shape of so when I was growing up, I actually had bad ears. I needed like a bunch of surgeries just to correct them. I think I might have told you this, but I have a prosthetic ear bone in my right ear.
I did not know that.
I know you had surgery. I did not know you had prosthetic ear.
Pick it up. Well, so I guess the next time I see you, I'll show you. But there's some cartilage in near your ears, and they actually took some of the cartilage from one of my ears to help make a prosthetic. I found out from.
Wow!
I learned about this from my mom some years ago. I feel like anytime I talk to my parents about my surgeries, I always end up learning something new, and it's like, well.
You died for 5 seconds. What?
That's parents for you.
You know? But so as a result, though, one of the things that I learned growing up as a kind of a result of that was that I phonically it got attached to sounds differently than other kids. And like my brother likes to highlight that, you know, everybody aesthetically growing up, like some sounds are going to be more appealing to you versus say your brother or your friend that may just not like that sound. And so it's like, that's kind of baseless. But we threw on, I like had these sort of like hearing defects that got fixed later. So there was just this moment in time from like the time I was like 2 to about 10 or 12 where sounds were just going to be different to me inherently on the grounds that I just didn't hear well in general. So I think as a result of that, I ended up gravitating towards these sort of like ethereal sounds, the acoustics of Gregorian chanting in those great kind of gothic halls, high female vocaloid type music. I just ended up gravitating towards those sort of like higher sounds. Now I don't know what led me there, but that's just kind of where I ended up.
So my real question is, how many times did you listen to the Halo theme song?
Oh, I listen to that pretty regular. Marty
Love
McDonald is a musical genius, frankly. But the there's a video game that I really wouldn't mind playing on our channel at some point. It's called the Talos Principle. It's a puzzle game, but the opening like minute and 30 seconds of like the title screen is just this breathtaking Gregorian chanting, and I would just purposely leave the menu open so that I could just listen to the music.
Yeah.
Until eventually I learned the name of it on YouTube, and then I could just YouTube it. It starts with like a V, you know, it's something in Old Latin. But you could just say Talos Principle opening, like main theme or whatever, and it's like, there you are. Minute and 30 seconds of just breathtaking Gregorian music. It's honestly really a fun game because you're a robot inside of a virtual world, and somebody that calls themselves Elohim is talking to you, and like it's just pretty suspected that the world outside is dead, and everybody like vanished into this computer to like try to escape the apocalypse and kind of. I mean, it's a very like philosophically religious kind of implied piece of media. Really fascinating, frankly. Like, to dive into the deep lore of it, I haven't discovered all of it, but it's like, holy shit, there's a lot to just unpack here.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, Talos Principle, pretty great.
For me, it's the battle music for Avengers.
Battle music for Avengers.
You know, like Avengers Assemble, and then it's like dun, dun,
oh,
dun,
the score of Avengers, like
yes.
the music. Honestly, I don't remember who the musician was for that movie, but they picked some winners. Honestly,
Yeah.
Like I'm like, holy shit, that's that good. You know what I'm
Ever
saying?
since Endgame, that song has been stuck in my head, and that's been a year and a half now.
I mean, it's good. I mean, how many times do you look at yourself in the mirror and just say, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good?
No.
For that whole year until I saw Endgame.
I honestly
It was
think that
painful.
sometimes when like my stomach feels not great or just like I'm feeling off, and in my head
That's
I'm
like,
like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
I don't feel so good.
What was that thing I sent you last week, Jay? Where we kind of said that. I don't remember.
We'll have to deep dive into that.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But we said something similar to that last week. It was
Mr.
really
Stark, I don't feel so good.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stark.
What are you trying to get here at the Coliseum, actually, now that I'm reminded of our location?
Now that I'm a little high level, I thought I could beat Yuffie and Leon.
Oh,
You're
that's
very
right.
close.
Or whatever, Squall, because Kina would kill me if I call him Leon.
Honestly, just
Just
stick with what he's
do
called
what you
originally.
want to do.
No. I mean, if Kina says, I'll murder you because you said this wrong, I mean, maybe you just do it. Maybe you just forego your identity and your independence and just do what she tells you.
That's not fair.
It's not fair.
Well, apparently, Savannah, if I don't know if you know anything about Final Fantasy, Leon, the one with the big sword that I was fighting a minute ago.
The Gunblade.
He's from Final Fantasy 8.
8. Yep.
And in this game, they call him Leon.
Well,
right?
to be fair, that's what the American, when we got our hands on it from Japan, that's what we call him in Final Fantasy 8.
Yes.
So it isn't just this game, it was just when he was brought over to the States, that's what
Just Americans being American, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I find out that his name is actually Squall from Kina, and that's the correct way to say it, and I've never been able to, and she hates it when I call him Leon.
That's...
I mean, it's almost like whenever I say Heracles and you're like, dude, it's Hercules.
It's
I'm
so
like,
stupid, it's Hercules.
It's not.
I'm
It's
sorry,
so
you say
stupid.
Heracles?
See?
So
Idiots!
No, Savannah, if you're unaware, the original Greek, he's pronounced Heracles in the original Greek. Eventually,
Okay.
when the Romans got their hands on his story, they dropped the A at the beginning and just called him Hercules. So our Disney cartoon decided to use the Roman pronunciation in their Greek story. So,
Gotcha.
you know, leave on that with what you will.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
But I mostly brought it up to point out to Hector where it's just like he gets frustrated whenever I call it correctly, and then
I'm not calling it correctly, you're wrong.
I'm not though, am I? Because
So
you sent me. Here's the thing that's hilarious about this situation, Savannah. He texted me the Roman pronunciation
I did.
and then also the Greek pronunciation. He's like, "Ha! I told you." And I'm like, "No, you idiot! I've been telling you this the entire fucking time. What are you on about?"
I just heard it.
That's-
It was
And then
explained
he
better.
texts me.
It was explained better to me from this other guy, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I thought I had one up on Jason, but I didn't.
And then it turns out he met me at me having the one up on him this entire time. Like, I'm congratulations, you came up to where I'm at. You were down
Almost.
below me, and I brought you up.
Right.
Get him! You have him. You like his health is almost gone.
Almost. There you go.
There's Leon. Now
No.
this bitch.
Now you gotta get
Oh.
the. I'm blanking on her
She's
name.
throwing ninja stars at me.
Shuriken?
She's a bitch.
She's throwing shuriken. Gotcha. You got her. Look, you got her.
There we go.
Nice.
It's so much easier when they're by themselves.
So the
Hey, your
name
time's
thing,
up.
the name thing reminds me exactly of what me and my best friend did this past week. We had this whole 30-minute fight on 2 songs, both Beyonce songs.
Okay.
She named one of them Bow Down in 2013, and then she put it on her album and then retitled it to Flawless, right? So me and
Okay.
my friend are going back and forth like, no, Bow Down and Flawless are different, and she's saying it's the same, and I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. We're like getting in this heated argument. Then we call our friend, and he's like, you both are right. Also, why am I here?
You're both right. First
You're
of
both
all,
right, but you're also both wrong. And so
thirdly, what
after
am I doing
he
here?
hung up, we had a whole nother 30 minutes about how we were both right, and it was just it was hilarious. It was like, you know, just it's the what's that universal thing where it's like Bernstein situation.
the Mandela effect.
Yeah, it's the Mandela effect, but where Beyonce just like named her songs differently.
Right.
So we had this big fight about it. Like,
Damn.
Is that fighting fun?
It's not if you are, getting nowhere.
which
That's
is
fun to
exactly
fun.
where we
I
were.
have fun arguing
nowhere.
with you, Jason.
No, I know, and you do it in such a way that makes me just confused because it's like, why are we actually doing this? What was the purpose of this?
There
Oh,
is
did
no
you start
purpose,
another
Jason.
thing? Oh, I'm sorry, you're out of time, friend.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did, and then you didn't.
You didn't tell me.
It's.
You
I
didn't
promise
tell
you.
me.
I
We were
promise you.
recording,
In
and you
this
didn't
in my
record.
audio clip, you're gonna hear me say, "Oh, look, time's up." I promise you, it's
Hey,
here.
Hector, timestamp real quick. Did he actually say it? Play it back if he did. If he
I'm
didn't, he
not
didn't
putting
do
that
it.
timestamp down. In fact, actually, you know what?
Oh, because
No.
you're wrong.
No, just to prove a point to you, when you go and listen to it, you're going to be like, yeah, you said it at like the 32-minute mark.
No, that's bullshit. You can't. No, that's not proof.
No, see,
Put that timestamp
I
down.
mean,
Here-
it's
I'm-
recorded, so it is.
yeah, like honestly,
No, but that-
I know that I'm looking at the timestamp little like note clip that I've made off to the side. I'm just going to leave that blank.
No, but the thing is, the timestamp helps me go into the videos of me hearing the whole thing and editing a piece.
It's honestly...
You're stopping that process.
Or, now we have a hilarious conversation that you have at the end of this that you don't have to worry about. Because here you are, saving the game like I need you to, and we can get on to the next one. Everyone wins.
You fucking put that timestamp
Mastermind. I mastermind you.
Okay, next time.
Hit him with that
I
deep cut.
choked Jason right where he dies. Let's put my thumb right on it.
No, JD, that's not how you choke somebody. This is how you do it. A little harder.
Harder? Right there.
There you go. There you go, JD. Oh my god.
I fucking love that scene. It's so good.
Yeah.
He's so awesome that he would probably help me choke himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that was excellent. I forget what was wrong with him. Oh, I guess he wasn't that good of a doctor. Like, he wasn't good with the pressure.
Yeah, that was the end of it. Like,
yeah, like
you just didn't like him because he was perfect. And then later is like...
He's a good doctor, but he also couldn't handle the pressure, like most doctors just sometimes
because he couldn't help a kid. He couldn't help this kid who got, like, rabies or something.
I mean, it's like... Bill Lawrence is honestly a great storyteller. Oh, fun fact. So, on Apple TV, there's actually a show that he's working on called Ted Lasso. The premise is an American football coach gets hired by a woman in England to have him coach British soccer. Oh. And it's honestly, it's just a great character drama about plenty of different characters going through shit. And it's Bill Lawrence, who did Scrubs, who I adore, and he's just working on another project that's equally just wonderful. So
love him.
Next time we all talk in the British voice.
Yes,
I'm not offending people.
Thing to do.
I'm going to do it, and we're going to talk like this and talk about trumpets.
That's my cue to go.
And tea.
Tea.
Jolly good show, everybody.
Oh, wow. Good show. I think that's offensive.
Everything I do is offensive. That's just the show now. Welcome to Offensive and Jason.
Offensive.
Where I play a game and offend you, and Jason sits there and corrects me how I'm offending.
Well, at least you know your audience.
People who are offended. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.